Remember walking in the summertime, simple times in the sea, sitting watching the water go by, feet dangling in the water side. Hear the sound of birds on the fly. Days on by, wishing for simple times, waiting on the rain. Wind and warm days, feel the rain touching, rippling on the riverside. Do you remember summertime, rain and mist in the air, laughter in the air? We never had a care. We dared, we rebelled, we never had a care. Summertime, rain and mist in the air, laughter in the air. Remember walking in the summertime, simple times indeed. Sitting, watching the water go by, feet dangling in the water side. Hear the sound of birds on the fly. Days gone by, wishing for the simpler times, waiting on the rain. In warm days, feel the rain touching, rippling on the riverside. Do you remember summertime, rain and mist, laughter in the air? We never had a care. We dared, we rebelled, we never had a care. Summertime, rain and mist, laughter in the air. Remember walking in the summertime, simpler times indeed. Chasing, watching the water go by, feet dangling in the water side. Hear the sound of the birds on the fly. Days on by, wishing for simpler times, waiting on the rain in the warm days. Feel the rain touching, rippling on the riverside. Remember summertime, rain and mist, laughter in the air. We never had
Salute.
a care. We dared, never had a care.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Yeah, how's everyone doing? So, yeah, what's really interesting about that song is there's absolutely nothing done to those vocals. Nothing. Just that's how it was. Absolutely. It's one of those things where it went very well when I recorded the vocals.
Nice.
So yeah, it was one of those kind of things where, you know, I was kind of feeling it, you know, definitely.
Hail and Merry Christmas, RR.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Hollow Patriot.
Oh,
Week.
Oh, man.
So yeah, we watched Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, God, yeah, we did.
I don't know if you would call that watching it. I would say more like suffering through it.
That's a stretch, but yeah, we watched it, and you know, oh man, it's closing in on my witching. I'm getting tired, but
Thanks, R. Appreciate that.
But we watched it, and I know I was talking to the guys backstage, and I said this very middling type of movie. Did not like the pacing. I'd be generous giving it a 5 out of 10. It was more like about a 4.5. It's just there's moments in the movie, but there's not enough of them to keep you as a viewer interested or just enthralled the way that a good superhero movie should. It definitely had problems, like I said, with the pacing. I did not like Kristen Wiig at all. I thought that Cheetah was represented kind of terribly. The costume was god awful near the end because she looked like
something out of Cats.
She looked like something out of Cats. It was that part was god awful.
Oh, I thought you were watching Cats too.
Yeah, the Golden Goddess armor that Diana was using, I like that touch. I mean, because that's out of the comics. That was pretty awesome seeing that in action. But all in all, this was not nearly as good as the first movie. The first movie was really good, and I knew that they would have a hard time duplicating what made the first movie so good, and they did.
Drew, I'm the same. I really don't like Kristen Wiig myself. I feel like it's nails on chalkboard sometimes in a movie with her in it.
Yeah. It's hard, and it's not just listen. It's not just getting the bad taste of Ghostbusters 2016 out of your mouth. If anybody's suffered through that abomination, but it's just she's not outside of like sketch comedy. She's not a good actress at all. She's just not her arena, and she needs to stick to sketch comedy because.
I will be honest though, there were a couple moments in her role that were good, and that was a couple of the battle scenes. I gotta say some of those were okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad. If she could have kept that kind of caliber up, it may have been better. But as I don't, as a rule, I try to stay away from movies that she's in.
Same. And I'll give credit to Pedro Pascal. I kind of like the Max Lord character. I thought that was good. I thought he did a pretty darn good job, given the circumstances. I mean, it was funny. I was kind of making some Din Djarin jokes during the movie, but all in all, I thought Pedro Pascal did a good job. I mean, that was actually a fairly cool character. But yeah, the movie just suffered from really bad pacing. Story was a little over the top in the way it was. Like they went overboard on some of the cheese factor on it. It was. God, yeah, it was not great. As far as I'm concerned, this was far under the bar that was set from the first film, and I did love, by the way, because it takes me back to my childhood. Did love the Linda Carter cameo. I mean that was friggin' amazing. But
hey, Curtis, what's up, man?
Hey, Merry Christmas, Curtis.
Beware the Drew.
Hey, what's up, Paradad?
I may or may not have been drinking cognac.
Yeah, Bear was toasting away.
I was.
Yeah, he was.
Let me weigh in here for a second, just for a second. So I want to throw my thoughts out there real first. Now, I didn't even see the first Wonder Woman, so I really had no kind of, I guess, inclination of what this movie should or shouldn't be like as far as it was be compared to the first one. So when I watched this thing, I was actually extremely bored through most of it, and there was an awful lot of cheese to the beginning of it, and like
it
even
was
worse. even worse than some of the old 80s movies. Like, if you watch some of the old B-rated 80s movies, I think they had a little bit less cheese in them than this thing did. I mean, this kind of reminded me of like some of them really bad 80s TV shows, like what's that one with Balky and the other guy, the two buddies that were in the apartment together?
Bosom Buddies.
Bosom Buddies. That's what it kind of reminded me of a lot of this movie. Now, I mean, if I was going to give this a movie as far as the script and then the canon break, and I'll get into that in a second, this is why I'm rating it so low. I'm putting it down to a 2. I mean, this movie was so bad to me. This is a good reason, a good explanation why more people should get assimilated because of how bad this was. And there was an awful lot of canon breaking.
Don't you mean epigulated?
Yes, pigulated.
But
Mary Pigmas to everybody that's in the chat. But I mean, one of the things that I didn't like is I didn't like the canon breaking aspect, and it reminded me of Ghost Rider when they took the character Cheetah and they put her number 1 in the wrong time slot, because in the 80s version of Cheetah, it should have actually been Deborah Domain, who didn't really have any kind of superpowers. And as far as this Barbara Ann character, her powers were never received from a wishing stone. Her powers were received as a result of a tribal curse that was laid on her. So, I mean, that part alone kind of threw me off a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, Gal is a great Wonder Woman. I agree with RR. I loved Linda Carter as Wonder Woman when I was growing up, but Gal is a worthy successor. She's proved that with the first movie, but this movie just wasn't a good script. And
I liked her parts. I like Gal Gadot's parts. They were decent. The emotional and character exchange between Steve and her were right there. It kept my attention. Outside of those scenes, the Barbara and Diana making friends parts, I was like, okay, this is not natural. This is forced. This is not.
You know what it felt like? It felt like Claire and, oh God, why am I blanking on her name? Ali Sheedy's character in The Breakfast Club trying to make friends when they were such polar opposites.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was more entertaining than this.
Yes, it was.
And that wasn't Bosom Buddies that I was thinking of, Tommy. That was Perfect Strangers with Larry and Balky.
Okay, Perfect Strangers. Okay, yeah.
But,
Larry, how you doing, Larry?
But the Linda Carter cameo was everything. I love that. I don't know. I just wanted this to be like a more action-centered, like better, a little more serious movie. But we got what we got. It's definitely
Drew. Wouldn't you say like the first half of it was extremely cheesy? I mean, extremely. It was like goofy, like to a point. And then it had a few moments like towards the middle where it got kind of serious, like with some of the decent action scenes that I think we can agree were okay when she was doing the stuff with that convoy.
Oh, dude,
those were good. I think those were good.
I think, Tommy, you mentioned it kind of felt like an Indiana Jones moment.
Yes, when she was underneath the truck.
But then a little bit, I started thinking about what you were saying. And it's like, well, you know what? This is sort of like a mix between Indiana Jones and Fast and Furious kind of moment. It kind of had that feeling to it.
Yeah. I mean, there was the part when she was under the truck and then the part when she was hanging on the side of the truck, just like they did in the first movie in Raiders. So
yeah. And the big difference is they were military armored vehicles.
Well,
armed. They were armed.
I really want to point out like some of the good touches there were, like I was saying, there was some cool believability there as she was temporarily losing her powers, and you see Wonder Woman take some she takes some serious damage in some portions of the film, and it was good to see, because if you're gonna have that kind of dilemma in your movie where where your character is going to lose their powers for a while. Well, yeah, they better look vulnerable. They better be taking some damage. I thought they did that part well. But the thing is like I said, the movie just suffered from a bad script, pacing issues, and it just was nowhere near as good as what the first movie was. And that's the problem. When you have such a good first film and it sets such a high bar, that's been a problem from the dawn of time. It's so hard to make a sequel that's even equal to a first film when you're coming up with a sequel. It's a very rare that sequels equal or surpass their predecessors, and you know, I mean, that's just always been a fact of life about movies and whatnot. So, you know, it's unfortunate. I wanted this movie to be better, and I could only give it like a 5 out of 10, and that's being generous, because I'd say, you know, if I was being just 100% down the middle about it, it would be like a 4, maybe 4.5. So I'm just
there was another thing I think a lot of people wound up missing in this, and they tried to take some parallels with some of the shit that they did with the Joker early on by trying to make what should have been the villainous character a little bit more relatable, so you kind of feel sorry for him. Did you not catch that?
Oh yeah, I caught that vibe, but it's like I said, it's hard. I mean, if you want to have like a cheetah type character, I want a little more. I don't know, like a little bit better looking actress. I want somebody that's gonna just evoke more of the cheetah aesthetic, and I just don't believe Kristen Wiig was the one casting wise to do that.
Well, you know what, Drew? I think they could have made her the cheetah. But here's the problem with the cheetah that they were trying to run with. Now, it's first off, like I said earlier, it's bad enough that they decanonized and they put the wrong era cheetah in there, because the cheetah they use is more of the modern era cheetah. Okay.
Right.
And the modern era cheetah, she was bloodthirsty. She was savage. So this one was more of a middle of the road type of,
sort of tame, actually.
Yeah, very tame compared to what the one that they're trying to say she is. And that's another thing as part of that canon breaking stuff. And I mean, that stuff to me, it just irritates me. Now, I know that they're trying to take a different spin on it, but when you actually take it and you so far remove it from what that character was, it kind of throws people off that are going to see this, because who are you showing this movie to? Are you showing it to people that don't know nothing about the characters and just want to see it for the first time? Or are you showing it to people that want to see those characters from the comic book that they knew about on the big screen? That's who you're showing it to. And once again, I think they just missed the mark, like badly. Yeah. They missed it about as badly as an Iraqi Scud missile.
Yeah. I'd say that covers it pretty good. Yeah, I'd say so.
But I think if they would have did more with the character of Cheetah and they would have made her a little bit more vicious, I think that she could have filled that role. I think she could have. I mean, I don't really know enough about her acting chops to really to say much about it, but I think it could have been done if the character was handled better. I mean, if they were going to run with that Cheetah, they should have made it more like the comic book Cheetah, and they should have made her vicious. And I think she could have played that, because there was a few instances in there where it almost felt like she was vicious, but she just wasn't there. You know what I mean? And that is definitely the fault of the people who wrote the script.
Yeah, and there are acting coaches for the acrobatics that they do and stuff like that, and having the proper trainers, and maybe that could help. I don't know.
It kind of, it really is sad what it was. I mean, you know, being the first time that I watched the Wonder Woman movie and it had to be this one, I'm like highly disappointed. I mean, disappointed to the part that I'm not even sure if I'm going to take the time to watch the first one now. And that's nothing against Gal Gadot and whatever her acting skills may or may not be. I mean, just this as a jumping on point. Like, let's put it this way: if I was a small kid and I'd watch Star Wars for the first time and I seen TFA as the opener, I don't know if I would want to go back and watch the other ones just because of how bad that was.
Yeah. I will say, like, the sequence where they did the nod to the invisible jet, I actually liked how they did that. And I actually was appreciative that they snuck the invisible jet in there. I thought that was pretty cool how they did that. I enjoyed that little sequence, but again, if you're a fan of this character, I mean, if you enjoy Wonder Woman, this just, yeah, it just wasn't a great movie. You know, the first movie I really did enjoy because she was heroic. She kicked a lot of ass. There was a lot of action, you know, and in parts, man, you know, Wonder Woman was downright brutal in the name of justice, and I liked it. And this was just, oh God, it was so far under that, you know. So I don't know. The only hope that I have now is when they come out with the Snyder cut. If there's some good Diana scenes in the new Snyder cut, I'll be happy. But yeah, I was just not happy with this. And I'll tell you what, you know, when they get the metrics back for how this does, and they get not the show reviews, when they actually see, you know, real feedback about this movie, I don't think that you know, I kind of agree that you know, I've saw some preliminary reports that part 3 might be in jeopardy, and I could see why a third movie might be in jeopardy, because this is not this was not a great movie. And Merry Christmas, LDG. Great to see you, buddy.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Pigmas.
Yep.
Yeah, I just threw the link over on Facebook.
So yeah,
shared it everywhere.
I just I wanted this movie to be better, but yeah, sorry.
I did too.
It did not do it.
Nope.
So the chances are, if you're already kind of tired when you watch this movie, you might fall asleep during it.
Yeah, it will more than likely put you right out. It's like,
Yeah,
because this is a very slow moving film, to be honest.
Yeah. And it's 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it is. It's like, yeah, but
they threw in nuggets for comic fans. Yeah, pretty much.
yeah,
I mean,
and that's good. If you're doing a comic movie, you should do that. But the thing is just, I mean, they didn't overdo with member berries or anything like that. But it just, you know, God, it just was not a good script.
But that's the problem when you take a movie and you got to rely on the member berries to try to keep everybody interested, and there's just so few of them really in the movie. Is it really enough to carry it? No, not
Well,
even.
no, there was other stuff that was interesting, you know, regardless of the member berries. There was other stuff that was interesting, but there's just not enough. And, you know, that's a sign of a bad script.
Yep.
When you know, because like I said, the Max Lord character was pretty good. And I thought Pedro Pascal did a good job. You know, we got to see him out of, you know, saying more than 2 words in the Mandalorian. You know, we actually got to see him act a little bit, and it was nice. He did a good job. Props to Pedro Pascal, but again, it's just not enough to keep this movie interesting. And yeah, you know, it's not. There's nothing in this movie that stands out as super memorable, and it's definitely not a movie you're going to sit down and want to rewatch at all.
All right. Well, what about the guy trying to do like the Reagan impersonation?
Oh, the whoever they picked for the president guy was garbage. I thought it was just trash.
There wasn't even any jelly beans on the table. It was
Yeah.
poorly handled.
Yeah. but yeah, it was
Yeah, you're right.
it was not a great movie, and I'm hoping that the Snyder cut washes the bad taste out of my mouth.
Well, I think Bear kind of hit on something earlier when he said it kind of almost felt like a TV show in a way, because it does feel like it was chopped up into segments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it has the way dialogue in a TV show will move from show to show to show. Takes a while to get there. I felt like that in the movie, like it was taking a while to get there, and I'm like, why does this feel like a TV show?
Yeah. So, I hate to poop out on you boys, but man, I've been up for a long time today. It's 2:00 here. I'm gonna hit the hay.
Well, hey, we'll play one more song and then we'll just close this out because we weren't going to go live for very long. Just have a little bit of fun, unless Tommy, you want to have some giggles and shit like that,
I've had my giggles, and most of it was at the script for this movie.
Yeah.
I would like to say, hey, everybody that's out there in the chat that stopped by, you waited up for this, and you dropped by and you said hey, and you left your thoughts in the chat. And it's always nice to see all of you there. Curtis, man, what's going on? LDG Pixels, RR, Mikhail Wolf.
Yeah.
I know Parrothead was in there too. What's up, Parrothead? Larry. Hey, it's good to see all you guys. I mean, I know it's kind of late for some of you. I know it's late for me, and it's late for Drew as well. Bone was here earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Drew just got to learn to suck it up. I mean, there's plenty of time to fap later. He's tired. Lady Toriel. Oh, always a pleasure to see you.
Hey,
Lady Toriel. How you doing? Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Back at you.
Clean your screen off again, Drew. It's tripping.
No, I just, man, I wish I could keep that scene with Gal in that white dress and just showing off those beautiful legs.
That scene wasn't long enough for Drew. He didn't have time to complete.
I wish I could have that as a screensaver. But yeah, Lady T, if you haven't seen this movie yet, trust me, you're not missing much. But yeah, thank you, chat, for coming out, and as always, supporting Bear's channel. Great guy. I'm just thankful to know you guys. Thankful for your friendship, and I hope everybody's having a wonderful and blessed holiday. Let's all have a great 2021. So that's my
we got
final
9
thought.
people. We got 9 people in the chat.
Yep.
Oh man! All right, 2 songs. You wanna replay the new one for the people that just got here in the chat? What do you think? And then we'll
19K Fox is in the house.
Hey, 19K Fox, how you doing, man?
19K Fox.
Holy cow, how you been?
Merry Christmas, my brother.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Pigmas.
Yeah, Merry Pigmas. New term, pigulated.
Remember walking in the summertime, simple times in the sea, sitting watching the water go by, feet dangling in the water side. Hear the sound of birds on the fly. Days on by, wishing for simple times, waiting on the rain. In warm days, feel the rain touching, rippling on the riverside.
Salute.
Do you remember summertime, rain and mist in the air, laughter in the air? We never had a care.
we rebelled, we never had a care. Summertime, rain and mist in the air, laughter in the air. Remember walking in the summertime, simple time to be. Sitting, watching the water go by. Feet dangling in the water's side. Hear the sound of birds on the fly. Days gone by, wishing for the simpler times. Waiting on the rain. In warm days, feel the rain touching, rippling on the riverside. Do you remember summertime rain and this laughter in the air? We never had a care. We dared, we rebelled, we never had a care. Summertime rain and this laughter in the air. Remember walking in the summertime, simpler times indeed. Sailing, watching the water go by. Feet dangling in the water side. Hear the sound of the birds on the fly. Days on by, wishing for simpler times. Waiting on the rain in the warm days. Feel the rain touching, rippling on the riverside. Remember summertime rain and mist, laughter in the air, we never had a care. We dared, fell, never had a care. One more and then we'll say goodbye.
I'm a court jester just looking for a laugh. Maybe laughing at you. Just wanna be free in thought. Nothing works the way it's supposed to. But it all turns out right in the end. I'm here till the end, and I won't shut up. Put up, rock it out. Sometimes you walk through the darkness before you see the light. I'm just a poor jester, fire from the North Star. A day late and a dollar short. I'm a court jester just looking for a laugh. Maybe laughing at you. Just wanna be free and thought. Nothing works the way it's supposed to. But it all turns out right in the end. I'm here till the end, and I won't shut up. Put up, rock it out. Sometimes you must walk through the darkness before you see the light. I'm just a court jester, fire from the North Star, a day late and a dollar short. I'm a court jester just looking for a laugh. Maybe laughing at you, just wanna be a free in thought. Nothing works the way it's supposed to. But it turns out right in the end. I'm here till the end, and I won't shut up. Put up, rock it out. Sometimes you must walk through the darkness before you see the light. I'm just a court jester, fired from the North Star, a day late and a dollar short. I'm just a court jester, just looking for a lad.
All right. Buttons keep moving. All right. Merry Christmas, all, and thanks for coming out. We appreciate you. Best chat in the community, and always a pleasure and always fun. So, gentlemen, these guys' channels can be found in the info below, and I believe Tommy was throwing some links in there.
Yeah, he was.
And we appreciate you coming out and having fun with us, because it's really what it's all about is having fun, being respectful to each other, and just we got opinions, we'll give them, and we'll say cheers and then move on, right?
Yeah.
So hell to you, Drew, and Tommy. Merry Christmas to you both, and truly is a pleasure. Really is.
Oh,
yeah.
Absolute pleasure being on again with you, Bear. I'm glad I actually had the chance to be able to do this tonight. I mean, there's a whole lot going on for everybody, but we got to take these moments to actually, show the respect to everybody that has been there with us and everything, and have some fun and be able to interact with people that we love to interact with. I mean, there's a lot of good people in this chat right now, and we all run in these circles together. I mean, it's always wonderful to be able to talk to all of you.
Mm-hmm. And I hope everybody had some good family time, a wonderful and safe holiday. Let's all make a great 2021 together. And guys, if you want to hear some more talk about this movie, I'm sure on Wednesday on the Bounding Into Comics channel, myself, John Trent, Donald Edmonds, and also our associate editor Spencer Cooley will all be on there. If you pop by Bounding Live, I'm sure that we will tear this movie apart, because everybody's going to have opinions on it. So, if you want to catch some more in-depth analysis, come check out Bounding Live this coming Wednesday, and we'll break it on apart for you guys.
Also,
do you think they're going to hate more than I did?
Yeah, Bounding Into Comics channel is in the info below, along with Drew and Tommy's channel.
Mm-hmm.
And 19K Fox, thanks for stopping by, man. Larry, thanks for stopping by. Mikhail Wolf, RR, LDG Pixels, good to see you. And Lady Terriel, hope you guys had a good Christmas. Curtis YZ, you too. Machiny 90, hey man, how you doing? Merry Christmas.
Yeah, great to see you, Machiny.
So let me we'll play one more song, and then we'll say goodbye, being so many people's just popping in, and entertain your ears.
Week.
All right, cue that up. There we go. All right,
you can do it. You can do it.
I ain't had that much cognac.
May or may not be true. Eastern sun in the morning light, a surf beating the sand in the wind, a whirling around, flying through the sands of time. Surf beating the sand in the wind, a whirling around, flying through the sands of time. Flying through the sands of time, in the sands of time, walking with me in time. We will figure all this out. We will figure all this out. Fly with the eastern sun in the morning light. surf beating the sand, sand in the wind, whirling around, flying through the sands of time. Surf beating the sand. Playing with the eastern sun in the morning light. Surf beating the sand, sand in the wind, whirling around, flying through the sands of time. Surf beating the sand. Sand in the wind, whirling around, flying through the sands of time. In the sands of time, walking with me. In time, we will figure this out. Fly with the eastern sun in the morning light. Surf beating the sand, sand in the wind, whirling around through the sands of time. Surf beating the sand. We fly with the eastern sun in the morning light. The surf beating the sand, sand in the wind.
Good night.